This is Young Family Tai Chi, section 1. And we will do a little review, but the new move today is going to be left brush knee. So first, I'd like to do the form from the beginning up to what we've done thus far, which is to white crane. And then after that, we'll do a little review, and then we'll work on left brush knee. Okay? So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to call it. So feet shoulders width apart, head up, hips down, hands by your side, prepare. Opening, rotate your arms, lift up to shoulder level, and then press down almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left, shift left, turn right, all the weight on the right, step and close, turn and shift with. Right ward off, shift right, turn the left toe to the corner, pull with the left, ward off down with the right, right foot comes in, step and close, separate and shift weight. Roll back, rotate your arms and your waist to the corner. Shift your weight back as you move to the other corner. Press, pull in the right, attach the left, and expand forward. Push, square up your shoulders, flatten your hands, come back over a ball, hands in front of your chest, and push up to shoulder level. Single whip, shift back as you flatten your hands. Pull and turn all the way around. Press down. Ward off with the left, hook hand with the right. Standing ward off, step, deflect, strike. Raise hands and step forward. Shift right, turn the left toe to the corner, push off the right ball, circle your arms, root your heel, close and turn. White crane spreads its wings. Turn your hands, pull down, circle your arms, step and close, turn, step and open. Okay, any questions on that? Let me change my view so I can see you guys. Okay, so I'd like to review a few things on white crane. Okay, when you are, if I'm doing it in that direction, I'm starting from raised hands and step forward. When I turn my hands, I'm actually starting to turn my waist a little too, so that I can pull down. And when I pull down and I step, so when I pull down, I don't turn my head there, but I kind of look there. And then I step and close, and I look that way because I am hinting to the shoulder strike. So I'm going to turn, and then my gaze goes toward the front. So I am rooting and opening. Okay, so one more time. What happens is I am closed, then I turn my hands and my waist, and I pull down. All my weight goes toward the back, as I circle, step and close, turn, step and open. So everything is pretty continuous, okay? So when you're here, you're going to pull down and circle, step, turn. Now, when you're separating, you started here, right? Because when you came down, you stepped in close, so you're here. And when you turn, what you're going to do is you're going to rotate this hand so that it faces up. You see that? It was down, and you're going to rotate it so that it faces up in one continuous movement. So it's very much like you did when you did rollback, right? Remember when you were doing rollback, you had a continuous turn to get your palm out. Here, when you're doing a pull down, I'll pull down here, pull down, step and close, turn, then I have a continuous move, right? So that my hand comes up. So I was here, and I'm continuously moving up with the right and down with the left. So my hand is the same position it was at the end of opening. Okay. So down, circle, turn.
Question about the
Yes.
first part of the move.
Yes.
If we're starting here and you said turn your waist and your gaze, that immediately pushes my knee out so that it's not aligned with my toe anymore.
Well, if you're at an empty stance here and you turn and you're starting to turn your waist, your hips haven't moved, so your knee should not move either. So when you're here, you're in an empty stance, heel touch. You turn slightly as your hands turn over. And the only reason you're turning slightly is so that this hand clears, right? You're going to do a swing. So you're here and you're turning just to clear your body. You're going to swing. Step, step and close. And then turn. So when you turn, you're pivoting on the left ball, right? And then empty stance, ball touch forward. So if I do it from this direction, you can see my slant better, okay? So what happens here is if I'm going to start here and I pull down, step and close, turn. And you see I have a slant from my hip up. As opposed to a bow stance where it's It's actually the same distance out. It's just wider. And because the weight is 60% forward instead of 30% forward, I am here. Whereas if I'm in an empty stance, I'm the same distance forward, I'm just one line, two sides, right? And I'm here. I only have 30% forward. Most of my weight is still in the back. And I am tilted forward, but it's from here, not from there. Can you see that? So the way you control the weight distribution is the position of your torso. Okay. Let me do it once in the direction you would be doing it, and then I'll do it the other two directions. Okay, so at the end of raise hands and step forward, you're here. You turn. You put all your weight to the back as you pull down. Circle your arms. Step and close. Turn. Step and open. So if I do it from this direction so you can see the hands better, I'm at empty stance, right foot forward. Then I turn my hands. I pull down, circle my arms, step and close, turn, step and open. So your hand is above your head here and just in front of your hip on the left side. So this position just in front of your hip, you should think of kind of as the resting place, because that's where you were at the end of opening. It's the resting place. Okay. And you are going to be there with the next move as well. So let's do the raise hand, from raise hands to white crane one more time. So I'm here, turn, pull down, step and close, turn, step and open. So one of the things that you have to be careful of on these moves where you have your hand over your head, you should still feel like your shoulder is down. In other words, don't crane up your shoulder. It should feel relaxed. You should have a relaxed shoulder even when your hand is up. Okay.
Yes.
So any questions on that one? No? Okay, let's go to the next move then. The next move is left brush knee. I'm going to do it in the direction you would be doing it in the form if you started facing that way. Okay, so at the end of white crane, you would turn your hands, swing, step, brush, strike. And in the direction that you would, so that you can see better. Starting here, I'm turning my hands, swing, step, brush, strike. So the footwork on this one is really simple because you are essentially going from an empty stance to a bow stance. So in the direction that you would be doing it, you would be starting here, okay, with a ball touch empty stance. And what you're going to do is you're going to widen. You're going to widen and start with your heel, flatten and shift weight. Okay, so your stride is the same. All you're doing is you are not making a bigger forward step. Okay, all you're doing is widening. So you're going to step here, but it's not any further forward. Okay, because your stride is determined by your height. So if you're a certain height, this is going to be your stride. Okay, if you want a longer stride, you have to lower down in order to get a bigger stride. Okay, so same thing here. You started at a ball touch empty stance. You're going to go into a bow stance. All you're going to do is put your weight back in the back so that you release the front, put your heel down, heel ball toe bend knee, and you have 60% now in the front instead of 30%. Okay? Now, the more complicated part is the hands. Okay, so the way the hands work is, let's just look at the right hand. Okay, when you're here in white crane, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to turn. Think about looking at the palm of your hand. That's the shape. Okay, then you're going to swing to the corner. You're going to come to your shoulder, and then you're going to strike straight out. So if I were to do it in this direction, if I were to start here, I'm going to look at my palm. I'm going to swing. I'm going to come to my shoulder and then strike out. So if I combine that with the footwork, what it would look like is I started with an empty stance ball touch and I was here. So when I turn, I start moving my weight back to the back foot. Okay. Then as I swing, step. When I get to the end of the swing, I step. So I started here in an empty stance. I turn, I swing and step. Now, when I swing, I want to swing so my palm faces the corner. And how do I get it there? I have to turn. And the reason you have to turn is if you were just to swing, it would only go as far as the side. In order to get it to the corner, you have to turn. So when you start here and you turn, you're shifting your weight back as your hand goes down. By the time your hand goes down, your weight is already in the back so that you can step with the left. So you're here, you're shifting your weight back as your hand comes down. Step. So this is a waist turn. This is turn, shift back, your weight, step. So when you started, your shoulders were toward the side. But by the time you swing and step, your shoulders are toward the corner.
Right.
You see? Because you cannot get your hand to the corner unless your shoulders are turned. Okay? So if I were to do it facing you, I would be starting here. I would be turning. And as my hand comes down, my weight moves back to the back foot. Then swing, step. Then as my hand comes to the shoulder, I flatten my foot and strike. So my strike is shifting the weight 60% to the front and turning my waist so that I'm square to the front. Because when I was here, my shoulders were there, right? So the coordination is I'm here, I turn, I shift my weight to the back, I swing, step. As I flatten my foot, I start straightening out my back foot. And then I turn and strike. So if I show it to you from here, if I'm here, I turn my hands. I'm shifting my weight back as my hand comes down. Swing, step. Then, as I flatten my foot, can you see I'm starting to straighten out my back leg? And then when I'm striking, I am turning and shifting weight.
Is your trunk leaning forward or staying straight?
My, what do you mean?
Your upper
So,
body goes following.
My shoulders are moving toward the side. So if you look at my shoulders, okay, I'm here, my shoulders are that way. When I swing, step, my shoulders are that way. Then as I flatten my foot and straighten my back foot, I am still toward the corner. But as I strike, I'm going to put the weight in the front, more weight in the front foot and turn to the straight. So it's the turn and shift weight for the strike.
Okay, so you end with your shoulders squared, but I
My
mean
shoulders are square at the end.
but square leaning forward, following the direction of your back leg
Yes.
too? Okay.
Yes.
Good.
So if you look in terms of my body shape, I am here, okay, to begin. Then my weight is all in the back by the time I get here. Swing, step. As I flatten my foot, I am straightening out the back foot. And then I'm going to turn and put my weight in the front foot. Put the 60% into the front foot.
Good.
Okay? So in comparison to the right The left hand is quite simple. The left hand, you started here, right? And all you're going to do is when I turn the right hand so that the palm faces me, I'm going to turn the left hand so the palm faces that way. Okay, so I started here and I'm turning. Then when I do my swing step, when this goes down, this comes up. So what this hand does is it moves from here. When this turns, it moves here. Then it's going to come up and press down. So when you have turn, both hands turn. Swing, step. Then as the right hand comes to the shoulder, the left hand rushes out. So this comes in, this goes out. And then as the right hand strikes, the left hand goes to its resting position. So I'm going to show you various stopping points, even though I want you to do the whole thing continuously. But I'm only showing these to you because I want you to think of where your upper body is when your lower body is at a certain place. Okay? So when you're here, you're at an empty stance. Your hands turn. Your weight starts shifting back. Swing, step. You're going to start flattening your front foot and you're pushing off the back and then strike as you basically finish with a waist turn and a weight shift. So if I were to do it from this side, this way so that you can see the hands better. Say here. Turn hands, shift weight back, swing, step, brush and strike. So any questions? Let's do it a couple times. Okay. So which direction do you like? You don't care? Okay. I'll do it from all three directions then. Okay. So from here, this is the direction you would normally do it. Okay. So turn hands, swing, step, brush, strike. From here, turn hand, swing, step, brush, strike. Turn hands, swing, step, brush, strike.
is the knee brush a strike?
The knee brush is a strike. The right hand strikes. This is called left brush knee because when you started here, swing, you end here. So it looks like you're brushing your left knee. That's why it's called left brush knee, even though the strike is on the right.
But the left hand is not supposed to be striking too when you
The
do
left
that.
hand is not striking. The left hand was deflecting when it was here. It's clearing so that the right hand can strike.
Okay.
So it does not strike on its own.
Okay. Good.
So I'll do it in the direction you would be doing it, which would be facing this way. Okay. So you turn your hands, left palm facing right, right palm facing you. Then swing, step, brush, strike. Okay, so this way, turning palms, swing, step, brush, strike. This way. Turn palms, swing, step, brush, strike. So remember when you were doing white crane, when you were here and you turned your hands, you did a little waist turn. When you're here, when you turn your palms, you're going to start to do a little waist turn. You're going to start to do a little waist turn. And then swing, step, brush, strike. So there is a lot of waist turning in this one because you cannot reach the corner unless you waist turn. Then when you come back, you have to turn your waist in order to face the square when you strike in that direction. Now, the things that you have to be careful about in terms of your body shape is there's a great temptation to raise your shoulders. So just like when I was talking about white crane, don't hike your shoulders. Here, what happens is when you come here and you come in, very often people raise their shoulders, okay? What you have to be careful about is when you swing out, your shoulders should be very relaxed when you swing out. When you come into your shoulder, you should just bend your elbow, okay? You do not want your elbow to be back here, okay? You want it to be kind of in your body line, and you don't want it to be too close. You want it to be in front. So when you're here, it should be in front because it's getting cocked to strike, okay? So it should be in position to strike. And your striking spot is at the base of your palm. So imagine that you're striking somebody at this point. So it's slightly slanted. It's not straight. It's slightly slanted because it's this part you're hitting with. Okay? Any questions?
So throughout this move, the hips do not really rotate at all.
Well, maybe very slightly. So when you're here, your hips are, even though your upper body is square toward the front, your hips are, well, instead of being all the way to the corner, slightly off corner toward the side. But then when you are swinging, then your hips are definitely toward the side and your upper body is toward the side. Then as you come forward, your shoulders are coming toward the side, but your hips, even though they turn more toward there, they're actually toward the corner because they're in line with your back foot.
I thought,
So it's mainly a waist turn.
I thought you said that when you swing back, you were supposed to be careful not to do it with your hips. Did I-
Right. You're supposed to do it with your waist. Yes.
But now you just said the hips turn slightly.
Well, I guess they don't. Because when I'm doing it, my hips don't turn. It's just my waist that turns.
Okay. So I
It's
don't
just my waist that turns.
turn while I'm watching you.
So I'm here. Swing, step. It's almost always turn. The only time your hips are slightly more to straight is when you're doing the ball touch empty stance. So when you started, your waist, your hips were a little bit more this way relative to the corner. But then once you swing step, they go back to the regular position, which is toward the corner. And on your bow stance, your hips are toward the corner as long as you're leaning forward. The only time that they're slightly off from corner is when you are straight up and down, which is left ward off and single whip. As a general rule, your hips follow your back foot.
Oh, so you're saying that they don't really turn because they're already turned to the corner.
Yes, they're already at the corner. So you're here, you turn your hands, and all you're doing when you're turning your hands is you're turning your waist slightly, okay? And as your right hand goes down, your weight goes back. And what you're doing is you're releasing your left foot. Swing, step. You cannot step unless your weight is all on the right foot, right? Then as you flatten your foot and you straighten your back foot here, so to do it continuously, it would look like this. You're turning, swing, step, brush, strike. Yes? Here. Turn, swing, step, brush, strike. And in the direction you would be actually be doing it, it would look like this. Turn, swing, step, brush, strike. So even when you're striking, you still maintain the curve of your arm. You are not going out straight. And the reason is that if you did that, you would overextend and your weight would pitch forward. Okay, so you're going to maintain your body shape. When you come forward, we still have this rounded shape. Okay, so let's try it from single width. Okay, I will do it in the same direction as you. Okay, which would be this way. Raise hands and step forward. Shift right, turn the left toe to the corner. Circle your arms as you push off the ball of the right foot. Root the heel and close. White crane spreads its wings. Turn your hands, pull down, circle your arms, step and close, turn, step and open. Left brush knee, rotate your hands. Swing, step, brush, strike. Okay, let's try that one more time. From single width. Raise hands and step forward. Shift right, turn the left toe to the corner. Circle your arms as you push off the right ball. Root the right heel and close. White crane spreads its wings. Turn your hands, pull down, circle your arms, step and close, turn, step and open. Left brush knee, turn your hands, swing, step, brush, strike. How did that feel?
Good.
Any questions?
At the end of white crane spreads its wings, I thought we were just rotating on the left foot, but you keep saying step.
You
I'm
step.
a little confused what that foot is doing.
Okay, so I'm going to do it facing you. So I am closing at the end of raise hand, step forward. I'm turning, pull down, circle my arms, step and close, turn, step and open. So when I'm opening, I'm putting that 30% into the front. See, when I did the step and close, when I was here and I stepped and closed and I turned, I'm just pivoting on the ball of my left foot. It's not in position yet. See, it has to be a ball touch, one line, two sides. I'm back here.
To bring it in.
I have to bring it in and forward. Because I'm here. I pull down, step and close. When I step and close, my 2 feet are parallel to each other. My right foot is to the corner. It's ready to be the back foot for an empty stance. But this one, you can see the heel is not in the position to be one line, two sides, right? Even after I pivot, it's not in the right position. It has to be forward and in order to have a ball touch empty stance.
I see. Thank you.
Okay. So from there, you're going to have a left brush knee. So you're going to turn your hands and swing, step, brush, strike. The great thing about this move is everything's moving all at once. Okay.
That's true in every move, pretty much.
That's true in every move, yes. But it's more obvious in this one because the moves are so big. You know, in like raise hands, that's a relatively small move. You know, this one you have a big swing. So it's more obvious. So why don't we do it one more time from the very beginning, and then we'll close class, okay? So, feet shoulders width apart, head up, hips down, hands by your side. Prepare. Opening. Rotate your arms, come up to shoulder level, and press down, almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left. Shift left, turn right, all the weight on the right, step and close, shift and open. Ward off right, shift right, turn the left toe to the corner, pull left, ward off down right, pull in the right foot, step and close, shift and separate. Roll back. Rotate your arms and turn to the corner. Come back to the other corner as you shift your weight back. Press. Pull in the right, attach the left, expand forward. Push. Square up your shoulders, flatten your hands. Come back over a ball, hands in front of your chest, and push to shoulder level. Single whip. Shift back, flatten your hands, turn and pull all the way around. Press down, ward off with the left, hook hand with the right, release the left foot. Standing ward off step, deflect, strike. Raise hands and step forward. Shift right, turn the left foot to the corner, circle your arms as you push off the right ball, root the right heel, turn and close. White crane spreads its wings. Turn your hands, pull down, circle your arms, step and close, turn, step and open. Left brush knee, turn your hands, swing, step, brush, strike. How was that? We're getting there, right?
So the step and close on white crane is it's a shoulder strike you're doing.
It's not a strike at all. Oh, and step and close. Okay, on white crane, yes. So
Yeah.
white crane, what happened is that when you were here, step and close is just step and close. The shoulder strike is the turn. That shows the shoulder strike. And
Okay.
then step and open. And white crane itself is not a strike. It's a defensive move.
Okay.
So
Ah,
it's if someone
okay.
were attacking you, you are separating their hands.
Okay.
That's what you're doing. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any more questions? If not, we will close class. Thank you very much for coming.